Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Growing Up Kayfabe. We are the Yeet and No Yeet of wrestling, the yes and no of wrestling podcasting, and I am here, your host, Joe, and my co-host, Darnell.
I don't know. I was close to saying something crazy, but tried not to do that.
Dialed it back in.
Yeah,
trying to go off script.
Don't binge watch Smiling Friends.
Yeah, I saw you were on that.
You might come out a different person.
I'm trying to get started on watching that soon.
There's only like 12 episodes or something too. Like, it ain't a lot.
Yeah.
What's funny though is like it's like the first episode is like 2022, then the second episode is 2023. It's like, wait, what happened here? Where did this gap come from?
Is it just like a pilot episode?
I think it was like I think it was like an internet short or something first. Mm-hmm. That's why.
Definitely trying to get into that. I was telling Reese the other day, I was like, it's an interesting, it's a show for everybody, but it is an interesting age gap difference thing.
That show was not for everybody. That first episode had me like, hey, wait.
Like, it's like that dark type shit.
Yeah, considering what their job is.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now? What did I get myself into?
See, because I haven't seen it yet, so I've only seen like the number one clip that everybody plays, which is like the fucking mountain troll or whatever, fucking with or like getting angry at them. But it seems like I know.
I know
Did you leave this dude on my mountain? Yeah.
I'm sorry, we didn't know anybody lived there. Yeah. Well, my wife's freaking out.
I had to go pick up my kid from school.
Really went ham because then he like kicked the shit out of whatever they left.
Something, yeah. I've only seen clips, and it's always somebody animates something over it because it's about something else. But yeah, he's like, if I see you up here on my mountain again, I'm kicking your ass hard. All right, geez. What'd you say? What'd you just say?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. I was so about to punch that guy, but there's this thing with my arm, and it's just like, shut the fuck up. You were about to do shit.
I just think that like it's funny, like, well, especially because Royland fucked everything over for himself, but that's like the new, like, every like 18, 17 to 20, early 20-year-olds gonna be like, oh yeah, I love watching Smiling Friends, and then reference Smiling Friends all the time when it used to be Rick and Morty, and probably would have continued to be Rick and Morty if it wasn't for Justin.
I feel like Rick and Morty was on its way out, honestly, because of how many seasons they were getting. It was just like, all right,
yeah,
you're kind of overstaying your welcome a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
They went away from what made them rule so hard, which is making us wait a year for a whole new season, because that's what we should have had to do anyway. That's how we got those banger seasons.
You know who doesn't have banger seasons?
Sheamus. Man, he's counting the seasons. He's counting them. He's counting all the seasons as they go by. I'll tell you that much.
All he can do.
I just watched WrestleMania 26 yesterday because I wanted to see the second Shawn Michaels and Undertaker match. And I totally forgot that they did it twice. So I watched 25 like a couple weeks ago, and I didn't see the ending scene where Shawn does the cutthroat and then slaps Undertaker, and Undertaker fucking gives him the pile driver from fucking hell. That's the meanest pile driver Undertaker's ever given. And I was like, I didn't see that part. So I watched 26 yesterday, and something funny about that is the Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, matches go down in history as some of the best, if not the best, WrestleMania matches of all time. I ordered that pay-per-view as a kid. I threw a fit as a kid, and I was like a whatever-year-old, threw a fit because my family said no, and I was like, well, it's not fair. I want to see it. And then they said, sure. And when I look back at it, I was watching it. I don't know why the fuck I wanted to see that WrestleMania so goddamn bad. Dude, it starts with a tag team crazy, like a tag team like tornado match or whatever, and the tag team champions at the time were unified because they had both belts, Miz and Big Show, and Miz had the US belt as well. And I was like, holy fuck, what is this? And I was like, what am I watching? So I fast forwarded a little bit. The best match on the card, which is probably why I wanted to see it, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase in a triple threat match because Legacy broke up at the time. And I was like, that was pretty good. Then you had the Money in the Bank. It's whatever. Jack Swagger won that year. Like, fuck. This WrestleMania dude, I was like, looking back at it, I'm like, it's crazy that Undertaker and Shawn Michaels were on this, like, the headlining match for this, because this WrestleMania sucked. Sheamus, and going full circle to what you're talking about, that Sheamus was on that year wrestling Triple H for the WWE title, and I'm pretty sure Sheamus won that year too. Man used to be a force to be reckoned with. Used to be a WrestleMania fucking WWE championship defender.
And then he, dethroned Daniel Bryan after the Faded Kiss, and then everyone stopped caring about him.
Yeah, that's
like that.
Because, and I think it's because there's a hint of like everybody knows that when that got brought up to Sheamus, he definitely was like, sure, like not a hint of like, well, that doesn't seem fair, or well, let's maybe do something different. He was like, 100%. I'm gonna go out there, bro, kick him, and count to 3. Let's do it. Also,
such a bad idea.
Yeah. The only reason I do like the bro kick finish is because of like Daniel Bryan taking his time and then kissing the Bella that he's with, and then fucking getting into the ring. I'm like, you know what? You deserve that a little bit. You deserve the kick.
He was. I think he was with AJ when that happened.
Oh yeah, AJ Lee. That's right.
They all look the same. Everyone like fucking blamed her for it.
Yeah, you distracted him. He wasn't even in the ring yet.
No, bro, literally turned around, bell rung, dead. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
That's and everyone, the entire crowd's just like,
at WrestleMania,
who approved of this shit?
Yeah, come on, man. You cannot do that at WrestleMania.
Like, this would have been whatever to do like on a Monday, but what?
Also on that WrestleMania card, that WrestleMania 26 was for the World Heavyweight Championship at the time, Jericho versus Edge, because Jericho won the fucking Royal Rumble, and I was like, holy dude, that whole WrestleMania card ass. It's so bad. I mean, and I'm sure Jericho and Edge put on a good match, but like I can't imagine the story building in that time to be like Jericho wins the Royal Rumble to go against Edge in a non-main event World Heavyweight Championship match. Crazy.
Yeah, that was probably like almost the beginning of the PG era. So like,
yeah, just around that, like 2009 or something like that.
Yep, that's when all the bad decisions started.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, of course, listen to that fucking beginning match. Fucking that shit made me. I was like thinking about how angry it would make you, like watching that live, being like, what the fuck? Big Show and the Miz.
It wouldn't even be a watching live thing. I just would have looked at that, all of that, and just been like, nah, because I just don't. I'm not a man who likes to waste their time that much anymore, especially on wrestling shit. It's like, bro, this is bullshit. I'm not dealing with it. Need ass.
Yeah, I think that also comes with a lot of wrestling fans nowadays, though, because I think there's this point of like, we're not dumb and we're not kids, and we just want to, like, I don't know, we just want
these real storylines, dog.
Yeah, and it for you to, again, that's really what it all comes down to. Just don't make it seem like we're stupid. Like don't treat us like we were when we were 11 and we're gonna be like, wait, what, really, doggy? We know what's going on, so just be real with us. And that's when that's the only time they waste our time, because it can be very misconstrued nowadays with Triple H. You got me with that in the beginning, where it was like when he first took over, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Very much used to things happening like that, which is not good. So some people will be like, well, they're wasting my time with this shit, and it's like, actually, if you wait a couple more weeks, big payoff. But it's just depending.
Yeah, because my favorite example of that right now is everything going on with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
And people now realizing why Jimmy was fucking Jay over so much. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, yeah, because this is what would have happened. And everybody's now understanding that. It's like, nigga, if y'all had some comprehension skills, y'all would have seen this shit when it happened.
Yes. Yes. Well, let's talk about the shows then. Monday Night Raw, the biggest thing that happened. Mummy's back. Dude, the camera.
Wait, who's back?
Mummy.
Oh yeah.
I kind of said
I already
like that.
forgot that happened.
Well, it's like when she gets into the ring and the camera's supposed to be hard cut on her and Dom because so that way they can hear her say it, but instead the camera cut too late. It just cuts to her being like, "Hey, who's back?" And you're like, "What?" And then she had to say it again because she's like realized that the camera, like you could see the cameraman fucking freaking out trying to get over to the shot, and yeah, it kind of ruined the moment a little bit, really. And honestly, the best part of the moment was what they did after footage, which was like Dom chasing her and be like, "No, I don't. It's not what you think. Like, I don't even know what's going on. I swear, I didn't do anything." You know, like, Tom.
I think my favorite thing about all this shit also is that everyone's blaming Dom for everything, and it's just like, no, everybody has something to do with this shit, bro.
Yeah.
And only blaming him because he was the focal point for Liz is like, nah, bro. Give that man a break. He was trying to get rid of her for so long and nobody else was helping. And then on some Looney Tunes shit with all the other sexual things that were going on.
I was gonna be like,
especially during that match, just landing in front of her while she's on the turnbuckle like that. It's like, hell yeah, dog.
Come on, Dom. You gotta blame Carlito a little bit, a little influencer. Now that's cool. every time he does it, that's cool. That's cool. Good.
Also, the whole hard thing, that was funny.
The what?
He's like, it shouldn't be that hard, and then Carlito's just like, it looks hard to me.
It looks hard to me. Carlito. The Damien's number one thing that gets him over is when he gets angry at the people he's with. It's so that video I sent you, I fucking saved it. I'm gonna try to insert that in anything in my life when JD talks about,
like, what is he thinking? Like, why does he? If you stop for 1 second, why are you talking?
Yeah, because him not liking JD at all at first was the greatest thing, because bro was legitimately not okay with him being there.
Yeah.
For any reason.
Yeah, Judgment Day is probably one of the hottest things going on Raw besides the Wyatt 6 thing, which is, I mean, they need to start doing some physical stuff.
Hey.
What?
Some fucking patience, man.
I'm being patient.
No, you're not. You wouldn't have said that if you was being patient, Playboy.
I want them to do physical stuff. That's all.
Sounds very demanding of you get there, buddy.
You know what's demanding of me is that I want Michael Cole to acknowledge that that's fucking goddamn Nikki Cross. God damn it.
Oh, why would they do that? You're ruining everything.
Well, they've already acknowledged who the other people are. They actually literally
Right now.
Yeah, but it's
I'm using the wrong name.
But it's everybody except for Nikki Cross is who they've acknowledged so far, is what I'm saying. They show the pictures of Dexter Lumis, all the guys except for Nikki, and I'm like, interesting. I wonder why.
Well, when they announce that it's Nikki, they'll announce that it's Nikki. There's nothing else we can do about it.
Well, I hope it doesn't fall so flat. I hope when they're like, it's Nikki Cross, the crowd's like, oh. I'm gonna be like, guys, we knew it was Nikki Cross. It's got to be a pop.
I would say the funniest shit, I didn't get it at first while Mark Henry was so pissed at them for taking that picture and like Whataburger or something, and I was like, oh, that makes sense, because they did all this promo with a mask and then just for them to all be unmasked and then all together with fans. It was just like, wow, you just kind of ruined the mystique, bro.
Yeah, a little bit, because it's a thing of like, yes, we all know who the wrestlers are and what they look like and shit, but if you're doing this shtick, we're in on the gimmick. So, like, let's live it. I get that. At first, I didn't understand. Yeah, I didn't understand why he was angry at first. I was like, what are you so upset? But I get it. Got to keep the fantasy alive, my guy.
I'll say the other thing that's kind of weird now is that since Bo was in the office, it's just like, are we to treat this as one person or two people? Because clearly him just being normal in the office is like, oh, okay, that's just Bo coming in here to do something.
Yeah.
Or talk. And then it's like the whole Mr. Howdy thing. And then with this week's promo, how they're like vaguely blurring the images together of Bo and Mr. Howdy. So it's just like, okay, I see what you're getting at.
Right. Yeah, I think that at the risk of basically full blown copying the Fiend thing, it's just probably the best way to go, because to make him go full blown one way or the other. And if anybody can do it like how Bray did it, it'd be Bo.
Yeah, he's already doing a pretty good job of it too.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Oh man, it's gonna be so good when it comes full circle, and the matches. Because that's the other thing too. When I watched the build up to the Fiend, the full YouTube video they have on the WWE channel, what was even cooler than seeing the. I mean, if anybody's complaining, like legitimately complaining about how long it's taking for the Wyatt Six to full blown, get started and doing more things, the Fiend took fucking like almost 2 months before he finally fucking made an appearance, dude. Like it was a long time. But the point that I was getting to is that like the matches afterwards, where it was like sometimes the Fiend, sometimes Bray Wyatt, and you're like, either way, it was a banger. It's fun, and you also get to pick and choose. Like, I don't like the way Bo wrestles, but I love the way Uncle Howdy wrestles, and it's because it's a different. He also has to know that it's a slightly different style when you do that.
I think one thing that's gonna need for them to stand out even more is they need another stable to actually be going up against. Because if they're just gonna stalk chat around and shit, it's just like, that's one person, bro. Y'all are a collective.
Yeah.
Like they need they need a whole faction to go against. Yeah. Unless for whatever dumbass reason Otis and them let Chad back in. That's the only thing that would make sense, but then that's just collateral damage. And it's like, why would you get them involved?
No, I think that, especially from the hints that they've been dropping, and then the most recent episode, I guess I didn't even see it, or no, it was like some X footage, and he was in the back with the Creeds, and they were all wearing suits. So I think that he's going to announce pretty soon that he's with the Creeds now, and they'll probably beef with them.
Yeah, that would be their best bet, because nobody else makes sense, really.
No.
And then that'll give them a chance to push the Creeds also.
Yep.
Because they've been just on ice for like the past probably 3 or 4 months.
And they're good. You put them with some good talents like all these guys and Gable. That's a good push for them. That's good learning too. And then for the Wyatts, like that, the Wyatt Six, that'll help them push for like if this goes extremely well, then the next faction that they beef with will it'll be a bigger one, bigger. Everything will be bigger. It'll be great. Don't know who that would be, but by the time that comes around, it'll probably be pretty obvious.
Yeah.
The other 2 things that I thought were great on Raw were probably the one of the best highlights was Jay when the Y6 came out looking at the camera after he beats Gable, and then runs away. he's consistently, he's like, I love guys who like, I don't know if they know about the memes or if it's just like the writers know about the memes and they're writing into it, because it's like that's all anybody talks about on the internet is Jay constantly being like, I'm out every time the Wyatts come around.
It's like, nah, they definitely know. It's not the writers. They're definitely more online than what they used to be.
For sure.
They know shit that's coming up. Oh.
And the best part of the night, in my opinion, was just Braun Breaker just being a fucking just a bully. So good. Sammy, I've been thinking about what you were saying, and I fucking spear. God, he's such a good bully. He's so mean. Like
it's the Steiner gene.
Yeah. It really, it's funny because like he's good on the mic. I think that like anybody can flub, especially when you're still as new as like he's not like very new, but still in those early years. And what a good use of him. That's like few words do trick. Sammy cuts a mean 4-minute, 5-minute promo, just going off, getting the crowd. Braun comes out and says, Sammy, I've been thinking about it. Boom, spear. Title match for SummerSlam. That's how you get a title match.
Give me what's rightfully mine.
I hear that they're saying that maybe to change up the match that they need to add an implication to the match, or they're gonna add Ilya to make it a triple threat. Which
for what?
I know, that's what I'm like, but what, because he's interjected himself into the situation now because he stood up for Sammy, and then he had a match with Braun that night, and like so they're thinking somehow they're gonna write Ilya in, and they have about 3 weeks to do so if they wanted to. but I don't think they should. I think they should just make it like a street fight between Sammy and Braun or something. Make it a deeper match. So that way,
because Ilya doesn't need to be involved with shit.
No, he hasn't earned that spot yet, in my opinion. He's amazing. I love Ilya, but he has not earned to be an Intercontinental Championship yet. Yeah, you gotta with the way that they're like doing Braun and Sammy. Clearly, they're. I think they're gonna switch it over to Braun. And if they're going to do so, if they want to keep what Sammy's character is intact, then you need to put in some deep TLC, Street Rules, I Quit match type shit. So that way Sammy looks really, really good and does the classic I went down fighting type thing. That's what they're going to want to do.
I'm not even giving him that. Fuck you.
3 second finish? 3 second spear and finish?
Nah, I want that nigga to suffer.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Fuck his victim ass mentality.
For real,
fuck being an underdog. Once you get a belt, you're no longer an underdog. Shut that shit down. Yeah, just overall, fuck Sammy.
Fuck Sammy. Braun's gonna be the one to do it. I'm not a fan, Sammy.
He's a piece of fuck and he knows it.
NXT. There's one thing to talk about NXT. But if you say his name, he will appear. They teased it.
Say his name.
They said, I'll say his name.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
You gotta fucking.
No, you're already doing it wrong, man. You got no teeth showing when you smile.
Well, he's got better teeth than me, dog. I don't
Hey,
do
it doesn't matter. You gotta do it. You gotta commit. You're gonna commit.
You're right. You gotta commit to the bit.
You gotta do it all. Eric, see, there you go.
Man, yeah, that was once they hinted at it. It's all anybody cared about all night on NXT. Fucking so funny. That being said, Thea Hale being set up for the NXT Women's Championship. That's good for Thea Hale. Good for her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Thea Hale's part of Chase
know
U.
who that is.
Thea Hale's part of Chase U. She's great. Shouts out Chase U. They're gonna get it back together. They're gonna get those NXT Tag Team titles at some point. You wait. Andre Chase University. Yeah. All that aside, it will. Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry gets to have a tag team match with Trick Williams, which was crazy. And I don't want to say it's that like he's more over than Trick. I think it was just the fact that like people were just excited that Joe was there because everybody.
What happened last time he was there?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Great match by Joe. Great match. Everybody in that match was awesome. And there's something about it. I think maybe you just got me into it more. Maybe it's just real, like you pointing it out, that it's really what makes like matches in the long run if you can really do it enough. And what's his name? I think it's Ora Mensa. Fucking just on site with Ethan Page every single fucking time he sees him, and he just jumps Ethan Page all the time. He's jumped him at least 7 to 8 times since before and now having the title. And they're like, eventually we're gonna make a match out of this, but you want to see it because you want to see Mensa fuck up Ethan Page.
I don't know about that sport. I don't know. I don't watch enough NXT to know people's names and shit like that at all.
That's okay. That's okay.
Like I know like who I know like basically who's in the title picture. I know who those people are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you just start pulling out some random names out of your butt, I'm just gonna look at you like, what? I didn't mean for that to rhyme.
Yeah. Ora Mensa, he's pretty obscure, but at the same time, like in NXT at least, his name's getting bigger and bigger because I don't know. I don't know how to feel about him. They had this man cut like a heartfelt promo out of nowhere, like in some backstage moment that seemed very out of nowhere, like he just did it himself. And then I guess that was supposed to build his character, I think. I'm not too sure. But really what's building his character is he's jumping fucking Ethan Page every single fucking time.
Like, is there a reason as to why he's
so
doing
yeah,
this?
because Ethan Page beat up Noam Dar when Ethan Page first came.
Oh,
to
yeah.
and
Okay.
and he put Noam Dar out. Yeah,
that group that I literally do not give a fuck about.
Metaphor, baby.
That's like, yeah, sure, you got Lash Legend. That's about all I care about.
Metaphor, let's go.
Terrible.
Yeah, the other, her and Lash Legend and the other chick wrestled like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, holy fuck! I had to tell you, so I said, I know you don't know none of this shit, but the other bitch is about to wrestle. I've never seen her wrestle before, and honestly, I don't think she did that match. I think she never tagged in. I'm not too sure, but yeah, you're right. Really, that group is meta 3 because that one chick isn't there. Lash Legend's good, like amazing. Fucking Noam Dar is really, really good. And Oro Mensah, he's good too, but they just don't show him enough. They're just doing nothing in a faction together.
It's like, do you guys, is this like just a talking faction? Like, that's what it's come down to, because I'll only ever see them cut promos, and that's about it.
If your faction is hosting a PLE, that cannot be good. Like, because that's what they hosted, Stand and Deliver. And I'm like, ugh.
I don't know who that is.
What, Stand and Deliver?
Nah, not them. Whoever you said was hosting.
Oh, Metaphor hosted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get it. It's not easy to get all that shit together over there on NXT. It's a little weird. They honestly need to figure some shit out. I don't think the show is at its best spot right now, especially with Ethan Page getting a bullshit win against Trick Williams. But it is what it is. All ego,
The
baby.
win was bullshit, but it's kind of needed because Trick, like, he's still showing like holes in his game, like when it comes to cutting promos and a lot of other shit.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
Ethan comes in and immediately just commands fucking all the attention in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Trick is like, okay, cool, your song came on.
Yep, you're right. And Ethan has the heel ability, which might sound goofy to say because a lot of guys do it, but it is. You see it more people who don't know how to handle it, but talking through the boos. Like Dom works with the boos because that's his thing, but a lot of guys get stopped up. They don't know what to say. They keep waiting for them to finish, and they won't. And Ethan just talks right through it. No emotion shown on his face. He's just doing what he's supposed to do, cutting the promo exactly how he's supposed to cut it. And you're like, that's good heel work right there. That's a top tier heel.
Yeah, he's a prime example of, hey, this was wasted talent in AEW.
Yes, yeah. Shouts out to us where we proved that we took an AEW talent and pushed them to the top of the one of our rosters compared to when they take our talent and they're just sitting around doing fucking nothing.
Yeah, they're pretty good at that.
Yeah,
so they just signed too many fucking people. That's honestly the problem.
For sure. Like, I remember when AEW first came out and the year or so following, about hearing how many of the guys that I used to watch were getting time, and it made me want to watch. And when I finally tuned in, last year and started watching, I was like, I wasn't fully trying to watch just for the guys that I thought were going to be there, because I was interested to start getting into some other wrestlers, and I did. I got into a lot of good, cool AEW guys with that, but I did not see any guys I knew from WWE. And the ones I did see were, like I said, almost never there, like Bryan Danielson. They'd be like, Bryan Danielson's here. And I'd be like, dope. And they'd be like, and he's not doing anything this week. And we'd be like, okay, all right. Mox is here. He's going to do another match. Mox is always here doing matches. And we're like, yeah, I know Mox is always here doing matches. That man literally needs to retire.
I'd say he just needs to chill out.
Yeah.
Not retire, not yet, at least.
I don't know. His body's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, he had those soft years in the WWE, so, it ain't that bad. It's once he got out of that, it was in there, he was just like, bro, I want to do death matches. And WWE's like, nah, we can't have you doing that. And he's like, but why? We just can't. Just like, but fucking why, bro? Tell me. And then they say, here's Nia Jax in the middle of the year, I'm leaving speech. And it's just like, okay, you're a cunt. Thanks, Vince. Bye.
I always forget about that. That was a crazy, crazy thing to do. I wonder how Nia feels about that. Because I'm sure it was one of those they made her do it, obviously.
Yep. But you know that's what happens when you have a cunt boss.
Yeah, no shit. Goodbye forever, Vince. Anyway, shouts out Joe Hendry. From London to Paris and Tokyo. Thank you. I wanted to say real quick, I haven't gotten to watch them, but I was gonna message you guys last night because it was on Friday night. I had to work in the morning, so I couldn't stay up and like I wanted to and watch it, but I can go back on the other channels and watch it. But EO and AJ had their matches in Japan and Marigold and the other production or other promotion that AJ wrestled in.
Yeah, they're pretty good matches.
I'm gonna go and watch them. I saw that they both won, and I heard like Amy talk about it and ask the question, do you think WWE will ever let their wrestlers go lose in another promotion? What do you think? And I was like, no. Still no. I think Triple H probably holds on to that one pretty hard. He's like, oh no, we win. We're the best. Yeah, I was watching the Marigold because I was like, oh, I think Io is going to be on this. So I was sitting there watching, thinking that maybe she might be up next because what ensued after the I tuned in. A tag team match was going on. Pretty good. It's all women. I didn't know Marigold was an all Japanese women promotion. So they're going at it, and then the bell rings, and then I didn't know again over there they go to a draw. That's a draw, and I was like, oh, okay, wow, that's crazy. So now I'm watching. I'm like, well, I can't tell what's happening. Everything's in Japanese, and they're not saying anything. So I'll just sit here for a couple more minutes, and maybe they'll say the card for the night. And instead, what happened was a 20-minute long wrestle dance show with some princess lady with wings walking around the ring singing a song while all the wrestlers had to dance. And one bitch who I thought was Io Sky, she looked like Io Sky, she took some mean fucking bumps in the wrestle dance part and then had to get up immediately and start dancing. And you could see she was like, fucking, oh my fucking god. She's like, oh my god, she took like a splash. She had to get right up and be like, fucking what the fuck am I and I was sitting there, I was like, when is this gonna end? And I mean, it almost never did. At like 25 minutes they danced out of the arena, and I was like, what the fuck was that? I told Reese, I said, this is wrestling right here. Now this is wrestling. And
yeah, they had no ads. That was the ad.
That's the ad. Yeah, no shit.
House entertainment right there.
It's pretty good. I'm not shitting on the performance was awesome. It was just out of nowhere, and I was like, what's happening? But yeah, and then I saw that Io was gonna wrestle like way later in the day for them, and I was like, oh no. So yeah, hype to see that. Shouts out to both of them from winning. Hype to see those matches though.
AJ's old.
Mm-hmm. But he can still hit multiple. He can still hit multiple style clashes though. Shouts out to him.
That move makes no sense to me.
Nope.
It's like, how are you not hurting yourself?
How does
you're literally hitting your face on the mat at the same time as they do?
It's honestly though, it's gonna go down in history as like one of the best finishers of all time. It's such a cool finisher. Let's talk about Friday Night SmackDown. I almost hated the opening segment of the show. Almost hated it. Because I was like, this is against what we've been finding that works. What works is high impact action to start the show. A match, like right off rip. Or like a fight that happens backstage, right off rip. You got to get the blood pumping. You can't just show starting, boom, music. All right, now listen to Bailey talk to fucking Tiffany and listen to Tiffany brag about her thing for a while. And it's like, oh, come on, man. See some action. It's different when like you start the show with like a mic killer, you know, like if Cody comes out or if CM Punk or you know, Drew or somebody comes out and starts the show. You're about to get some bars. But if you just start the show with some bitch or some, you know, two people, like if you started the show with Sammy, you'd be like, what the fuck? What made that like opening interesting was, you know, the match that actually ensued afterwards with them jumping, Bailey, then Michin coming for the rescue. I mean, how many more times are they going to make Michin count the lights before she has to do something else? I don't know, but you know, the match, which apparently, you know, I'm not going to say everybody, Amy at least is shitting on Nia for. Nia had a great match. I paid close attention to that match. great heel work while she's doing the methodical, slowly wearing down. She's laughing at the crowd. She's being interactive. No botches during that entire match. Sold everything very well. And she's by the way, and I don't care about this part. She should for her health and to make herself better in the ring. She's working out every day. Every day she's putting in work to be better. And somehow they were like, yep, nothing impressive about her. She's still bad. And I'm like, how so? And she's adopting the Yokozuna now. She's like, this is how she does the finisher now. She's like, I'm doing it like this. And I'm like, yeah, that's mean, bitch. Hell yeah. And nobody. 0 points apparently.
They don't care because that she hurt the golden child back then.
Mm-hmm.
At least a couple different people, but it's still like at least they let her go to like get better.
And to be fair, which she didn't. Admittedly, she was like, I didn't train at all when I was gone, but she took it seriously when she came back, and that's fine enough for me. Hey, it's better now than never. It's literal, and she takes it seriously now. I think again, like she was. This is like when she came back now this time, this is full Paul Levesque regime. Every time she was here before, it was Vince regime. So I could see why it would be like, if she was gone, why she wouldn't want to train or anything like that, because she didn't get let go by Paul. She got let go by Vince. She's like, fuck him. I support Nia. So that match ends with Tiffany fucking thinking about cashing in on Bayley, and then Nia doing the bitch what?
Yeah.
That was really funny. It's a very, just right there, good storytelling. For the next few weeks, that's clearly what it's going to be. Tiffany thinking about cashing in and Nia being like, bitch, what are you doing? She's her little Barbie doll.
Which, yeah, no, they shouldn't overlook, what's her name?
Tiffany?
Nia for the belt.
Oh, Nia, yeah.
And just immediately have Tiffany fucking cash in and shit, because that would just be whack.
Yeah, I think the better match at SummerSlam is going to be Bayley and Nia anyway. And this might be why that, like, they might for real get rid of that Money in the Bank shit. Because, honestly, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I think I am over this whole once a year we just have this one superstar that can totally fuck up all of... I mean, like, they got to think about that. Like, they plan too hard for writing to be doing this surprise turnaround shit.
I say keep it just for the random factor. Because God forbid, especially nowadays, everything's too fucking predictable.
Yeah.
And then people are gonna cry about that. And it's like, then what the fuck do y'all want? If nothing, shut the fuck up. Simple as that.
Yeah, because like on the flip side of it, like it's again to that exactly what I just said. You plan so far in advance with writing that you can use it in any way you want, such as furthering Drew's story. So that way it can, you don't have to worry about the Money in the Bank, and it got used in a way that was for Money in the Bank and also furthered a story. Or you can use it to who's somebody who they really want to be champion but don't have a way to put them into a match. It's still has its uses for sure.
I still say keep it for the randos.
Oh yeah. I'm with it either way. If they keep it, I still like the nostalgia factor of Money in the Bank, and then I do like what it can do for stars. But if they got rid of it, I would also be okay with that too. So now I got really excited for a second. They do this vignette with Andrade in the stands, and I go, ooh, he's getting the Sami Zayn treatment. Uh-oh, he's cutting some vignettes in the stands. Someone's about to get a new title soon. And then I Am Him appears. And he's like, why are you talking to this? It's almost, Carmelo Hayes is almost comical now with what he's doing, which is working. It's just, he just shows up when people are talking. He's like, why are you talking to this man? You should be talking to me. And you're like, for what, Carmelo? And he's like,
because he's the #1 draft pick. That's why. That's exactly why you're supposed to be talking.
His first match in this company was against Cody Rhodes.
Which that in itself is still like, why did y'all do that?
It was so weird. Yeah. So now they're going to do a program with Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, which can go either way. Either those two guys can fucking really impress and push themselves, or it's going to flop and they're going to fall further down the card.
They'll be fine with each other.
And what's kind of shitty is, I mean, it really shows how much they I don't know. They can be nice all they want with each other, but they really don't respect Ricochet, because Ricochet got that speed championship and they were like, if you want to get beat up by Braun, you can, but otherwise you're speed champion. That's it. And then Andrade becomes speed champion and they're like, Money in the Bank, fucking a program with Carmelo Hayes on regular SmackDown TV, still speed champion. And they're like, oh, okay. Didn't want to do that for Ricochet? No. Just speed. He's fast.
I think it was more of they probably knew he wasn't re-signing, so they're like, whatever. We'll just throw you into a bunch of shit.
Yeah. See if you like it. You like it? No, I didn't think so. Get the fuck out of here. Go to AEW. I'm trying to think if there was something else, but I know I want to talk about the Bloodline, because the Bloodline also ties into the DIY match against Grayson Waller. A rematch done too soon, you think?
No, it was just pushing the further split of those two, because since they've been together, it's always what's his name? Not Grayson. The other.
A-Town. Fucking, I almost said A-Town down, but that
Austin,
is
yeah,
Austin
there we go.
Theory, yeah.
Yeah, but he's constantly getting fucked because of Waller.
Right.
Like, it all started when they were together, and then Roman wanted to see Grayson alone, and we never seen anything come out of that. But he's been getting fucked over a lot since they've been together, tag team, even getting the belts. Bro's literally getting thrown into every bad situation.
Yep.
And getting fucked up. And meanwhile, Grayson is usually there to like either run or push Austin into the way, or Austin saves him. And now same shit happened when pretty much during the entire match, I think. And then when Jacob came out, Grayson literally saw Jacob and like just went off to the side and ran away. Meanwhile, Austin's like, what's going on? He's on the floor. Like, it's just driving a bigger wedge in between them. And it's like, good. Do
you think that Austin Theory is more likable after this, like during and after this? Like, do you think
he's definitely gonna turn face, because he's gonna be like, dude, why am I always in these situations with you? Before, everyone didn't like me because that was fine, but now, like, I'm getting fucked up all the time. Like,
yeah,
come on.
I think that if he eventually realizes, confronts, and fights with Grayson, that he'll get a good pop, and he'll be very liked for that program if they do that. Which it seems like they're going to do. In good form. Figured it out. That Triple H right now is telling him, figured it out. Gotcha. I figured it out, man. We're turning you around, and we got you now. Look at that full babyface turn. We had to go months. This is gonna be, if this works, by the way, this is gonna be a big example. I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna be like, look at this guy right here. He was literally dead in the fucking water. And we were like, yeah, this guy's nothing here. And he just treaded water with some fucking Australian dude for a while. And somehow he made it up to the high seas as they were treading. And then up on the top there, he met Paul Levesque. And Paul Levesque was like, the fuck back down there, you Aussie bitch. I have you, son. Don't worry. I figured it out. Got it. Thank goodness.
Don't have to suck.
Yeah, because we talked about it all the time. As much as we hate him, he's so good in the ring. Great at selling. Awesome move set. Just so hateable. And it was because of Vince. Drew should have met up with fucking Austin Theory somewhere and be like, I know how it is. I used to be the Vince child myself. Fucking, it's hard to get out. It's hard to get out from under that when you're the Vince star boy. You got to make your own.
You can't even say that because of the whole 3MB shit. It's like, why would you put anybody through that shit?
I think that really happened though more because of Drew didn't work out like how Vince wanted him to, right? So he just made him do other shit. Or do you think that he loved Drew that much that he thought that was going to be awesome for Drew?
I think he just did it to fuck him.
Yeah.
What was crazy finding out that Vince told him to don't have an accent. And it's like, why would you say that?
Why would I not?
Yeah, it's like, well, whatever, man. You're old and you don't know what you're doing anymore. Whatever, bro.
Sidebar, another crazy thing about that WrestleMania 26, that Money in the Bank. babyface fucking Vince Drew is in that Money in the Bank match. White trunks, white shorts with the blue stripes. Drew McIntyre with the ponytail, playing touch button in the park with that ponytail. Anyway, so DIY furthers the Austin Theory and Grayson Waller split, defends their title. Shouts out DIY. Finally, we have good tag team champions that are going to put on like 5-star 5-star to us matches. But it's all for nothing. It's all for the Bloodline to come out there and be like, we're making a statement tonight. They fuck Jacob Fatu. I mean, what an absolute monster. Like, everything he did to fuck them all up was hit perfection and hit with fucking just ruthlessness. And his nicknames and call him
murder you.
Yeah, when they call him the werewolf, it just emphasizes it. When he's sitting there in the corner going like, and they're like, the werewolf, and Corey Graves like, the werewolf is here. And you're like, oh shit, oh fuck, he's gonna kill people. And you know what I saw? You know what I saw when they zoomed in on his face? He zoomed in on his face after he took everybody out and he was doing his, and I was like, wow, that's a felon right there. That is a felon. I could see the felon in his face.
How dare you?
Dude, it's a compliment. I'm like, god damn, bro, because he's selling it.
How dare you?
Look, Canada saw through it. It's fine.
Hold on. I don't think you heard me. How dare you?
Oh, there we go. My headset was turned up on that one. I heard that.
Okay. I don't know if you heard me or not. Even though you turned up your headset.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me turn it down real quick. You're a little too loud. There.
How dare you?
Let me say this about this end segment that they did in SmackDown, right? I was genuinely worried the whole time because I'm going to be there. Let me get there because I'm going to be there next week at SmackDown in Omaha. They're here in Omaha and we're going next week, which is dope. I'm so fucking excited. Cannot wait. So, but obviously I would love to see Cody Rhodes there at the event. So my worry was that I was like, oh no, they're about to do some fucking Cody Rhodes got beat up so bad by the Bloodline that he is not going to be there next week or something. And I was like, so I'm sitting there watching with full anticipation and I'm like, please do not do any kayfabe injury to this man. Because if I go next week and I don't fucking hear, this wrestling has more than one royal family, then I mean, I'm not going to I'm so excited, but I would be a little bummed if I didn't get to see Cody Rhodes come out. So I was very invested is my point because I am going to see them next week. If I don't see Randy Orton, it is what it is. I've seen Raw twice and I've seen Randy twice for that reason. Yeah. When they were beating him up, I was like, when they tied him up in the ropes and they just showed them, like, you're going to watch us beat down Randy. I was like, oh, thank God. It's kind of fucked up to say, but I was like, oh, okay, they're just going to beat up Randy. It's fine.
It was all cool. It was all fun and games till he said those terrible fucking words.
What words?
It's not me. I mean, it's not him you want. You want me. Take me. It's like, God. If you don't get your 1993...
It was kind of cringe, right?
Bitch, shut up. Just sit there. You could have said anything else.
He could have just said no. He could have just been like, no, please, no. We did that. That would have been better if you just kept saying no and please don't do it or something like that. But instead, you hit us with the no, take me instead, not him, take me. And I'm like, take you? They're not killing him, motherfucker. They're gonna put him through a table. Chill out. Take me instead. Yeah, Cody's been hitting those acting classes too hard. He's like, sorry, I was practicing a role I'm going out for.
I think the best thing that happened the entire night was everyone only got a little bit of Jacob at Money in the Bank of what he can fucking do. Mm-hmm. And then finally, the shit we've been seeing on highlight tapes for the past fucking year.
Yeah.
He finally was able to do everything. And it's like, thank God. Everybody's not going to think, oh, great, it's just another fucking Samoan. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, this man's a fucking problem. Because seeing him do the fucking... he's the only person who springboards like that.
Yeah.
Having him finally do that and then finally fucking showing off his moonsault, they definitely picked the worst camera angle.
Yeah.
But shooting underneath. They should have definitely had that shit zoomed out and just shown how much height he really fucking gets off that shit.
For sure.
Because it's disgusting.
It was really cool watching him do that springboard move because you could hear in the crowd the people who haven't seen any of those highlights or anything like that, because it was just kind of quiet and like people were watching him do bounces, and when he finished, everybody was like, fuck. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's pretty cool, huh? And just the way he does the Samoan drop, like when he catches them to do the Samoan drop, fucking he gets height on them.
Umaga used to.
Yes, yeah.
Because nobody else has been doing it like him, like Umaga, since him. And then we had Roman do it a couple times. You have both twins do it. Solo does it sometimes, but it's like, nah, this is the one.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, if you want to show this is how you do a Samoan drop, you show Yokozuna, Umaga, and Jacob. That's all you need.
Yeah. I agree. When I was watching, I agree with you. Like when I was watching him do the moves, I was like, this is legit every move I've ever seen him do in the TikTok reels. This is great. Full blown highlight reel on for everybody. Yeah, they were the stars of the night. I don't know what they're trying to do in the vignette. They do the ones like this, but when they're telling everybody to acknowledge them, they go like this. So I don't know which ones they're trying to. I kind of fuck with them doing this because it kind of makes sense. Right. But I don't know. I guess we're doing both. I don't know. I don't know what the creative is on that.
I would say it depends on who's doing what.
Right. All I know is that when I had to talk about it with Reese, I go, so when we go, I said, well, let's practice a couple of things. I practiced with her. I said, let's practice a couple of things here. Okay. He goes, L.A. night. And I pointed at her and she said, yeah. And I go, yes, there you go. You got it. Perfect. Okay. And then I was like, now there's a trick question for you. Solo Sikoa comes out. He says, acknowledge me. What do you do? She was like,
what's up, brother?
Yeah, she went like that. And I go, yes, but he is a bad guy. And she went, and I was like, yes. So she asked she's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to acknowledge him because it's going to be funny. Like, I think it's going to be funny to watch like other people be like, fuck you. Or like, we don't acknowledge him. I'm gonna be like, nah, I acknowledge him, but I'm gonna do it backwards. I'm doing the backwards acknowledge. And she's like, I'm gonna flick him off. I was like, that's good. No, that's good heat. You gotta do that. You gotta flick him off. I told her, I was like, if you don't like somebody there, you have full free. You can be like, to an extent. Sometimes people have kids around. They're like, could you not? Fuck your little ass kid. Fuck you, Solo. You can say that. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I don't understand why anybody would try to dictate how somebody else is doing something.
Yeah, I'm not.
Your kids are there.
If this was PG era, I would be allowed it. But if somebody there tries to tell me to watch my mouth, something like that, I'm gonna be like, dude, go fuck yourself. Seriously, this is wrestling.
Why the fuck are you here, nigga? Stay your ass at home.
I'll be like, what are you gonna do next year when it's on Netflix, motherfucker? What are you gonna do? Not watch the product anymore? Because this is what it's gonna sound like. It's gonna sound like motherfuckers being like, fuck you, Solo. It's going to be great. We're going to hear it in full decibels, just pounding in our ears on the headphones on those nights. Fuck you, Solo. The last two things I just wanted to bring up real quick before we get out of SmackDown, which is just that LA Knight cutting great promo, got the contract ready. You know what this means? We're going to have to do some house rating, but it doesn't, because also they promoted that we already know two things for next week. One, when I go to SmackDown next week, Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. 2, Logan Paul will be there. I told Risa, I said, you know who's going to be there on Friday? She said, is John Cena going to be there? And I was like, close. It's Logan Paul. Like yeah. I know. I love, I'm sidebarring everywhere, but I love WWE trying to just pretend like they don't know why Logan couldn't go to Japan. And I'm like, he just couldn't go. I'm like, he's not allowed to go.
That was pretending. They're just like, let's find some bullshit ass reason. He has conflicting schedules. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
But we're going to pay for these 2 felons to get into Canada, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was funny. I'm like, okay, sure. Conflicting schedule, sure. So, but he's going to be there next week on SmackDown. So he doesn't have conflicting schedules then. Yeah, that's funny. And Chelsea Green's just fucking comedy gold. She's and Piper Niven just reading a book for how to start a cult, fucking, and Pretty Deadly, and then their little interactions were so funny. And Chelsea with the neck brace. I like Piper. Piper's getting full in. She's like, she's really leaning into the comedy part of it now. All for Nick Aldis' ass to not be there.
Yeah, that was the weird thing. Because it's like, then who the fuck gave LA Knight the contract if Nick ain't there?
I feel like either he made that up, like, or like he already like had it with Nick Aldis or something like that. I don't know. But something I did notice from Friday is that at least 4 different superstars had a problem saying Nick Aldis' name. LA Knight messed it up, Chelsea messed it up, and I forget who the other 2 were. I think Cody messed it up. Like, everybody kept fucking up Nick Aldis' name. And I'm like, what's happening right now? Like, it's a hard name. It's hard.
That, and everybody was in Money in the Bank getting their head fucking pushed in. So, little brain trauma.
A little bit, yep. I'd say so. Hell yeah. That's the week of wrestling.
No, that's not the week of wrestling. You gotta talk about how the Bloodline is gonna get all these fucking belts back, but in the most terrible fucking way possible for every single time they get a belt.
You think that's why they went out there and took out DIY?
Yeah, and that was what the promo was about. They were like, Solo was like, yeah, remember we had all the belts? We had the fucking Universal belt, and we had both sets of tag team belts, you know what I'm saying? We was on top of the world. This nigga Roman
ruined it.
Didn't have his eye in the ball. I did.
God did.
So now hopefully they get all the fucking belts. They just terrorize everybody.
Because this would be a cooler
version. But no
version
unifying tag belts, though. No, don't do that.
None of that. No, if they just were SmackDown champs, that'd be fine. That'd be cool. Thanks, everybody, for watching this episode. Let us know down below in the comments what you think about this past week of wrestling and what the most important things are that we missed or that you think we should have been talking about. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week on Growing Up Kayfabe.
Yeet.
Bye, everyone. Bye, guys.
Shout out to Jericho being weird.
Shout out to him.